It seems that the only way to bring about change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. You see, the drama of modern man is that he feels totally disconnected from the universe. His mind is split between conflict, tensions, frustration, and constant disillusion. Let's talk about illusion. What is real? A shaman once told me, nothing is real, you are real. To make your own reality. You are the master of your own universe, the creator of your own life. To experience what is essential, I must free myself from the world as it was imposed upon me. To free myself from the conceptions of the world imposed upon me. To free myself from the experiences of others. I need to create my own experience. In other words, to learn, I also have to unlearn. Far from all the human and urban Hullabaloo, I search for the never-ending magic of our world. On these forgotten roads, I drive across the landscapes like a spaceship might explore the universe. Sometimes I feel I'm on another planet. Then, what I experience is too beautiful or too special. I stop and I connect with nature. When I'm here, in these magical spaces, a bit like a hermit, either deep in a forest, in the middle of a desert, or on the edge of a lake, I enjoy the peacefulness. Then, I can hear the silence of man. And only then can I start listening to the songs of nature and the stories of the sky. You don't look up there for God, something in the sky. You look within you. We are that vast thing that you see far, far off with powerful telescopes. Looking at the stars, I make no comparison between right or wrong stars, nor badly, well or poorly configured constellations. Things are like they are. I don't question them. It is in my power to see the unknown and to interpret it. And in this unknown, what I search for and find is myself, you, all of us. Isn't this magical? When we dance, we don't move to reach a certain place, like traveling. When we dance, it is the journey itself that is the goal. Like when we make music, it is the music that is in itself its own end. It is exactly the same with meditation. Meditation is finding that the goal is already there, in the present moment. Welcome to Death Valley, hottest, driest, and lowest place on earth. Here once, was a beautiful and powerful queen, ruling over the Timbisha-Shoshone tribe. At that time, the valley was like a paradise, with lakes, trees, and abundance of vegetation. But the queen, the harsh ruler, had enslaved her own people in order to build a monument that would outdo any monument from their neighbors, the Aztecs. To punish the queen for her evil behavior, her own daughter cursed her, and nature rose against the queen and her empire, drying up the lakes, wilting the vegetation, and transforming the landscape into a dry land. Here, Mother Nature reminds us its greatness, its colors, its strengths, and its own history. Some of the oldest exposed rocks on Earth stand here, dating back up to 1.2 billion years ago. Mountains composed of limestone, formed by the shells and bones of sea creatures sinking to the bottom and compressing into rock over time. 1.2 billion years ago, this valley was a shallow sea. This place imposes respect and humility. Nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not ground you under. It will lift you up. This is the trick. This is what all these teachers and philosophers who really counted, who really touched the alchemical gold. This is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done. You make the commitment, and nature will respond to that commitment. But nature hates greed. The name of Death Valley comes from a real story. 19th century, the gold rush, America. Thousands of pioneers were coming from the four corners of America looking for gold. Christmas Eve of 1849, a group of 49 pioneers arrived in this valley. They were lost and had been traveling across the desert for 2 months. They tried their way in, but Mother Nature decided another fate for them. Over 3 days of storm, most pioneers died. Only few survived. And they never found their gold. My cosmic quest has led me to the state of New Mexico, another ancient land of the Anasazi people, the Pueblos, and the Navajo tribes. Following my intuition, I end up in the desert of white sands, located in the Tularosa Basin of New Mexico. Here, I felt I needed to recharge. Hermits have realized the further you go in a quiet place, you start to feel that you reconnect with all things. You start to feel you are a manifestation of that everything. The origin of this desert dates back to around 100 million years. The winds carved more dunes. It's a constant movement. Here there are 450 square kilometers of dune fields, known to be the world's largest surface deposit of gypsum. There, under the bright sun, there was a stone. Did it emerge from the sand? Did it fall from the sky? I wonder, where do we come from? Where do you find apples in nature? Under an apple tree. That stone was coming from the sky. It had fallen in a metaphoric way from the cosmic apple tree. Look up. What do you see at night? The old-fashioned idea of God becomes more incredible or implausible when you open your eyes and minds and see there is so much more out there. There is no God, just a pure magical force called life, pure creation. Realize everything is alive and has a spirit. Hozho, Hozho, Hozho. The Navajo people were using the word Hozho to signify peace, balance, beauty, and harmony. For them to be in Hozho is to be at one with the world around you. Tonight, I celebrate life, Mother Nature, and all the spirits of the universe. Spirits are here to guide us and show us the way, like the night stars. They're constantly sending us messages. You can hear them if you are ready to listen. See them if you open your eyes. Pursuing my cosmic quest, I'm driving South Arizona. These lands are known as the Sonoran Desert, close to the border between the United States and Mexico. Actually, it used to be Mexico. Here, a strange and wonderful tree grows, the saguaro cactus. It can grow as tall as 50 feet, weigh up to several tons, and live for 200 years. It takes them 50 years to get their first arm. They really are incredible plants biologically. The saguaro's sharp spine protects it from harm, and its skin, shaped like an accordion, expands in the rain, storing extra water for the long dry times. When you stand in the desert, you feel everything is quiet. But if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of the wind moving past the spines. There are many unusual shapes in the saguaro world. Walking among them, you might feel you are surrounded by people, the saguaro people. The desert people, the Hohodam people, see the saguaro as another person. Any single saguaro is an individual, as people are individuals. Actually, they see them as sacred, part of themselves and part of the desert. They are like beings that you protect and take care of. Here, people say that if they were to lose the saguaro, well, they would lose the desert. This desert is the center of the Hohodam people and their universe, and the Sonora Desert is the home of the Itoï, the creator of the Hohodam. In their cosmology, the Itoï was among the first three beings to be created along with Coyote and Buzzard. I, the Itoï, is the man in the maze, and you can see me carved as a labyrinth on some stones. This labyrinth is the maze of life. The labyrinth's design depicts experiences and choices individuals make in the journey through life. In the middle of the maze, a person finds the dreams and goals. I, the Itoï, is the good-spirited creator god who created the people and the saguaro cactus. The saguaros are survivors, living up to 200 years through droughts and floods and freezes, and all kinds of animals is trying to eat them. They do very well, but they are meeting a new component. People, and a lot of people. Development, bulldozers, mining company. I'm not sure we have well listened to the Itoï. Look what we're doing right here in the Sonora Desert. It's really rare to get some snow here. Weird weather with climate change. A year hotter than any other and the coldest winter. I, the Itoï, brought to you the Himdag, a series of commandments to guide you in balance with the world and interact with it as intended. Even if you're in France or in Australia or in India, there is something you can do. Because what you do where you live can affect the fate of a big saguaro cactus on the other side of the planet. It is called the butterfly effect. My cosmic quest has led me to change my vision of the world we live in, and actually live on. Yes, this giant rock we call Earth, where life became one day possible by some kind of biological magic. So imagine for a few minutes we are living on a spaceship. Yes, cruising into space at 100,000 km per hour, propelled by natural forces. It is hard to see it during the day, but at night, space, infinite space of constellations, stars, planets, meteorites. Can you feel how we fly into this? The funny fact is that when we begin to look at Earth as a spaceship, we realize we know nothing on how it really works. It's like the instruction book of the Earth didn't come with it. Our ignorance is almost frightening. We are unable to predict Mother Nature's biggest events, like volcanoes, eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes. It seems we are always the latest informed. We don't even know if the activities of men are going to make the Earth warm up or cool off. Let's be honest. We are unable to predict the rain. And still, some of us play gods, exploiting the earth, pumping and burning its blood, cutting its lungs, spoiling its water, endangering all life on it, killing it for some games with trophies. Our spaceship is alive as well as we're alive, and this delicate ecosystem of visible and invisible life is all that protects all of us from perishing in the harshness of space. Our spaceship Earth really has to travel sensibly, be maintained and looked up after properly, or its voyage is going to come to an end. Remember the voices of the elders and the songs of nature. Remember when the journey started. Remember what we used to believe. Oneness. To survive in peace and harmony, united and strong, we must have one people, one nation, one flag. We're not passengers on Spaceship Earth. We are the crew. A team of space travelers caring, working and loving our fragile craft. Pursuing my cosmic quest, I'm driving across Utah. Utah is the sacred land of endless rock temples, suspended arches, and rivers endlessly carve their way across the land. Utah was once the land of ancient tribes, the Navajos, the Paiutes, the Anasazi, the Pueblos, the Zuni, the Hopi, the Ute Indian, the Kaibab. For these people who lived on these lands, plants, animals, geological and archaeological features had a great meaning and importance. Although they had different interpretations, they all agreed that arches were the powerful place. And for all of them, arches was a ceremonial area. It is said that mankind has come here to contemplate these natural architectural miracles since the dawn of time. So even though I think I'm alone here, in truth, I'm following in the footsteps of thousands of humans who came here to lose notions of time and space. I discovered that each arch is like a fingerprint, revealing the personal story of the rock, the water, time and change. Rainwater, more than anything else, has caused such change over 60 million years, shaping the environment. Over the winter, the rainwater, which flows into the cracks and cavities, freezes and expands, breaking off pieces of the stone. With each storm, the small cavities grow bigger. Little by little, this natural process transforms the broken layer of rock into arches. As time passes, the same natural phenomenon that creates these arches makes them grow wider until they collapse and fall apart. It's easy to forget that the arches are not eternal and that almost all of them will disappear one day. Tribes described arches as portals in space and time. And arches played an important role in ongoing tribal religious practices. Arches was definitely a ceremonial area. Tribal members describe arches as a dwelling place for spirits and sacred beings. A powerful and sacred place. The message they left us is one of the most simple. Listen and survive. We are all a piece of the puzzle. No one exists or will enter your life by mistake. So you must trust your instincts. Find the others. Find your tribe. I feel that humans should start to better communicate in between them, whatever their race, their religion, their skin color, their beliefs, their work, their amount of money. That would be a good start. As I keep on my journey through time and space, I realize how humans can sometimes feel alone down here. Are we alone in the universe? Humanity keeps looking for an answer to this question and never stops trying to communicate with other worlds, other planets, other galaxies. Over the time, man has developed astronomical means to reach his goal, like here in Very Large Array in New Mexico. Very Large Array is a radio astronomy observatory comprised of 28 25-meter radio telescopes. No more, no less. They are deployed in a Y-shaped array. Why? Well, why not? All this equipment, instrumentation and computers function as an interferometer. Astronomers expect to find about 10 million new objects with the survey, 4 times more than what is presently known. From here you can observe 80% of the Earth sky. But so far they have not heard from anyone above, nor from any other planet. Probably no one really wants to talk to us. The simple fact that humans think that they are smarter than all the animals actually makes them the most stupid animals of the entire universe. The Earth has been sending and keeps sending warnings to humans. Storms arrive, humans are panicking. Eventually the calm comes back, and humans keeps on doing the same. And you know the story. One day, it will be too late for crying wolf. And in my head it started to resonate again. We don't listen with all of our senses. Technology is useless to understand the true meanings and laws of the universe. We must be open to receive and read all the messages he's sending us. A part of us still and will always feel what is right and bright. Remember, we are made of stars. Pursuing my cosmic quest, I'm reaching Monument Valley in Utah. This majestic and unique place is the heart of the Navajo Nation. In the background of many stories, real or fake, like the one of the Indians and the colors. In Navajo language, Monument Valley is also called the Valley of Storm, Tse-Bien-Sigai. It is a whirlwind of stark primary colors, a landscape closer to the surface of Mars, the bottom of a dried out ocean. Indeed, before human existence, Monument Valley was once a lowland basin. For hundreds of millions of years, natural forces and pressure from below the surface have elevated these horizontal strata. What was once a basin became a plateau. Forces of the wind and water eroded the land, spending the last 50 million years cutting into and peeling away at the surface of the plateau. The simple rearing down of altering layers of soft and hard rock slowly reveal the natural wonders of this place. Navajo legend, the giant red rock mesas of Monument Valley are the carcasses of defeated monsters, slain by the holy people and buried in the sand. Navajo believe they belong to spiritual beings watching over the people. The rock formations have enchanting names, such as the Three Sisters, Sleeping Dragon, or Ear of the Wind. I love stories that make us dream and have a different view of the world. Like this story told by a spirit here in Monument Valley, who appeared before me as a shadow in the sky. When the world was created, all the animals gathered around the Great Spirit, who asked them to collect pebbles in the water. Once the pebbles collected, the Great Spirit took one and placed it in the sky. The pebble began to twinkle. It was the first star. Then the Great Spirit explained to the animals that the stars would always help them find their way. He asked them to put the other pebbles in the sky in their own image. The animals had until dawn to move freely between heaven and earth. Since the Coyote Master of Chaos had completed his task, the Great Spirit asked him to help the small animals that couldn't carry a lot of pebbles with them to create the constellation. Helping them took the coyote a long time, and he became angry. He emptied the pail with all the pebble stars over his head. The pebbles scattered willy-nilly all over the sky. This is why some animal constellations are incomplete. And there is a long, brilliant, starry stream in the middle of the sky, the Milky Way. I have been traveling for many days through the amazing panoramas of canyon lanes and salt lakes. Birds scout the horizon and guide me across these roads that sometimes lead nowhere. But this route led me to the Pasangun Plateau. And in a beautiful sunrise, I discovered another Native American legend in a very special place. Bryce Canyon. Magical. Here nature again offered me a spectacular sight, one where water and ice have carved the rock in a very unique way. Ancient natural windows and chimney stones in delicate balance, and thousands of rocks that look like heads that here they call the hoodoos. Perched at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters, this unique canyon reminds us that the earth, with clouds drifting and dancing above, was once covered in water, an immense seabed filled with all kinds of fish. And the legend almost rings true. Before humans lived on the earth were the people of legends, the legend people, the Towhenanungwa. They were great in numbers and of all kinds: pigs, sharks, snakes, rats, sheep, leeches, and all types of animals, which although they looked like human, were not human. They possessed a very special power to transform themselves. The legend people had the reputation of being bad people. They took more than they needed, used the resources of the land beyond what it could sustain. They consumed all of the water, ate all of the food, and left nothing behind for the rest of the animals to survive the harsh winters. Witnessing the disaster, the great Coyote, Master of Chaos, came up with a plan. Always full of anger, Coyote cast a curse on them that would turn them into stone. And we can see them today. Some standing, some seated or lying down. Others are huddled together. And you can see their faces painted red. The name of this place is Ankakuwas awits, the faces painted red. Don't take more than what you need, says the coyote. Actually, the more we need, the sadder we are. Because we cannot have it all. Remember how we have already so much. And I remember this ancient oracle from the Apache tribe. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strengths into your being. And may you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. My cosmic instinct led me to the Mojave Desert, located in the Sierra Nevada of California. Here, I drove through a very special place, where I discovered Joshua Tree, a unique yucca palm tree. The name Joshua Tree was given by a group of people who crossed the Mojave Desert in the mid-19th century. The tree's unique shape reminded them of a biblical story in which Joshua reaches his hand up to the sky in prayer. The local Kawila have long referred to the tree as Homwishawa, and the Homwishawa play a crucial part in the Mojave Desert ecosystem, providing habitat for numerous birds, mammals, insects and lizards. The Homwishawa forests tell a story of survival, resilience, and beauty through perseverance. The tree itself is the silhouette that reminds those who live here that they're home. I have always felt I was a forest boy, jungle boy. Forests are indeed the home of most life on Earth, providing everything to countless numbers of species, including humans. Trees are essential for carbon storage. They give us oxygen, they participate to the water cycle regulation, and they nourish the soils. Yet some humans treat trees as disposable, or as something to be harvested for economic gain, or as an inconvenience in the way of human development. Since human species began practicing agriculture 1,000 years ago, nearly half of the world's estimated 5.8 trillion trees have been cut. Such a strange behavior. When you know when there's no forest, there's no life. So let's remember the universal image of the world tree or tree of life. We found stories in the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Hindus, the Mayas, the Siberians, and all the cosmologies tell of a magnificent world tree that grows at the center of the universe and encompasses all realms of existence. The world tree is a unifying symbol that represents the origin of all existence. Apparently, human even came down from the tree. To our ancestors, the inherent fertility of nature represented an awesome mystery, the recurrent cycle of the seasons of blossoming, fruiting, decay, and miraculous rebirth. As seemingly dead branches burst back to life each spring, was seen as a reflection of the regenerative powers of the cosmos itself. The image of the world tree illustrates the interconnectedness between nature, humans, and gods, and forms the basis of an integrated cosmology in which the gods manifest in nature and humans communicate directly with them through their art of forms. Wasn't it under a tree that Buddha listened to the most beautiful messages of the universe? Pursuing my cosmic quest, I'm driving through the desert of Anza Borrego in California, ancient lands of the Cahuilla, Cupeño, and Kumeyaay tribes. On these improvised roads, I sometimes feel like I'm going back in time. Did you know that a long time ago Native American tribes had discovered what we call the dinosaurs? The existence of some giant creatures was known by the Navajo, the Sioux and the Pony tribes, who had found fossils and bones of unusual sizes. The Native American folklore related to these bones and fossils inspired several myths of creation. Stories full of these giant creatures, terrifying or protective, strongly looked like the image of the dinosaurs. For these tribes, the giant creatures had names that we even sometimes borrowed and translated into Greek. Indeed, the beast of thunder for the Sioux became the Brontosaurus, the thunder lizard. Bronto, thunder, saurus, lizard. And by the way, dinosaur in Greek simply means terrible lizard. Native American tribes have a knowledge and an interpretation of the world that is not limited to the materiality of things, to the pragmatic, to the tangible. They feel themselves at the heart of the elements, visible and invisible. And their vision always includes a spiritual and even a magical aspect. It is said that at the beginning of time, words and magic were the same. For the Sioux, the word God doesn't exist. They believe in Wakantanka, which means the great mystery. Not knowing anything seems magical to me. I feel life is not about understanding it, but to feel and experience it. The First Nations people remind us that life is a cosmic ceremony, a celebration of the magical forces and spirits present in trees, rocks, and everything that surrounds us. They invite us to dance to the rhythm of the cosmos, a shamanic dance summoning all kinds of totem animals. And since we all came from the great mystery, animals from the smallest insect to the largest bird possess valuable powers that can be transmitted to humans. Totem animals are carriers of very specific lessons. They give us benchmark, unique gifts and responsibilities which are specific to our own personal achievement. Totem animals represent ancestral Native American wisdom. They tell the story of humans who have great respect to the animal world and nature. In the midst of the stars, floating in the infinite, the spirit of the dragon, the spirit of the great snake, appeared. It is the origin spirit for many civilizations, like the Aztecs, the Toltecs, and the Mayans. The dragon is a symbol of eternal life, symbol of the Alpha and the Omega. It is the time and the duration. Celestial and earthy, guardian of the waters but spitting fire, he is both yin and yang. The dragon unites all the principles of the universe, fire and water, heaven and earth. Mystical, powerful, emerging from the mystery, disappearing in the mystery, fierce or friendly, the dragon teaches human the deepest of all wisdom. If he can't be defeated, he can be an ally for men and women, pure-hearted. I once heard that the universe itself is a dragon, and that we are the fire of the dragon, its creative, sparking flame. Why not? To be in fusion with the spirits, natural forces, animal, plants, life in the very project of being is the basis of all magic. The great mystery is alive in the moment. Pursuing my cosmic quest, I'm reaching Mesa Verde in Colorado. Mesa Verde is in the center of the Four Corners, an area that covers the states of Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. These lands are known to be the heart of most Native American nations, the Navajo, the Hopi, the Itoï, and Zuni tribes. and prior to all of them, the Mogollon and the Anasazi tribes. The Anasazi, also known as ancestral Puebloans, lived in a range of structures that included small family pit houses, grand pueblos, and cliff-sided dwellings for defense. If the earliest Anasazi people were nomadic hunters and gatherers, they began cultivating crops and building permanent dwellings. They ended up having a complex network, linking hundreds of communities and population centers. They held a distinct knowledge of celestial sciences that found form in their architecture, with the kiva, for example, a room that connects the underground world and the upper world. These tribes have left us some eternal signs of their passage. In Three Rivers, I discovered outstanding examples of prehistoric Jordana Mogollon rock art. This site contains more than 21,000 petroglyphs, including masks, sunbursts, wildlife, handprints, and geometric designs. Isn't this fabulous? These drawings are more than 3,000 years old. These drawings inspire me that by pure observation of nature, we are being given the opportunity to feel its mechanisms, its eternal rules, and to respect them. And looking at the sky, I'm like the Hualapai tribe, believing the universe and the earth are connected in a circle, with no beginning or end. In the silence of the stars, I'm touched by magic, and I'm wondering, do the stars look back at me as I look at them? I believe they do, like trees in a forest, watching me passing by. We're constantly invited to walk these lands, experience their universe, discover their stories, and ignite our true nature again. Descendant of the Anasazi, the Hualapai people are still living in Grand Canyon in Arizona. For them, the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River are living entities infused with conscious spirit. Indeed, Grand Canyon is one of the most studied landscapes in the world, with extensive fossil records, a multitude of geological features, and rich archaeological history. In front of me, all in layers, the infinite circle of life. 2 billion years of life, 700 billion days of rising and setting sun. He has always been there. As the Navajo people say, the sun, Johondahi, is the one who rules the day. The sun has had many names over the time and has been worshipped among most civilizations on Earth. Egyptians, Mayans, Incas, Navajos, Aztecs, Arabians, Armenians, Buddhists, Chinese, Hindus, Japanese, Greeks, Romans, Slavics, Aborigines, Maori. Actually, walking the earth, you do understand that beyond the words and spirituality, nature is the true wonder and spectacle. Nature is this constant invitation to imagine what lies in everything. What could be the meaning? Is there any meaning? My journey into these lands has brought me many answers. It also raised new questions, a few misunderstandings regarding modern human behaviors, giving me place for new perceptions. When I look at these rock formations, I can see the trunk of giant trees, monsters, gates, portals, the ruins of ancient cities. Do you see what I see? Civilizations like the Olmec, the Maya, the Aztecs, and Inca have built hundreds, maybe thousands, pyramids to house their deities, like the sun and the moon. Actually, the Americas contain more pyramid structures than the rest of the planet combined. I need to keep driving south to find out more. Mexico is my next destination. I see you on the other side of the world.